Mm-hmm.
So I am blessed to have this book out by Derek Fenner there on Bootstrap. I'm going to do another. So I'm going to read like 2 poems from this and then read some poems from the new book as water sounds.
When's that
We'll
coming
see
out?
how it all goes.
When's that coming out? The new one?
What do we think?
Fall.
Early
Fall?
fall?
Oh, cool. Soon.
Fall?
Late
Soon.
fall.
Late fall. Okay.
Nice
sometime,
modifier.
Like maybe a Christmas present.
There you go.
So I'll start with this. How I would like to have every reading go with a poem about or to or somehow in recognition of Duncan McNaughton. If you guys don't read Duncan McNaughton, you should just check it out. I mean, he's just the real thing. And so this is for Duncan. How alone we are, the more of us we know, which is a line of his. Overtoned with riddles of imperious images, I was looking for a conversation of sailors and veils at birth, as my father had, some say. Underneath the leaves, you found the key filmed in patina dust. I paid $17.99 for the claret you refused to drink, but told you of the collection I stole, silk and linen covered, all letter pressed. Your eyes sparkle, the color of whale skin, so I repeat myself just to see it again, everything in its right place. I feed you radio signals and your response is cheers of a stadium crowd. Of course I will. And this is for Greg Fuchs, a New York poet, actually from New Orleans as well, but lives in the Bronx now. Thanks for the transit fare. Our crosstown train barely gets us anywhere. Not as much as a double Americano, more than the semicircle of the K or M lines, tawdry scenes overdone at night, special lenses so the eye can find Andromeda. All the young artists are tapping the atmosphere, but Kentridge is where my heart is. The promise of sunlight approaching, the memory of levee breaches, the here and now isn't about us and them. On landscapes of networks. Come night, what song was, little come my way. The awaited dreamt, whether or not we knew how or who, we stood elsewhere, shadows eroding till we were spotted and called out. What we behold, the underness has no place, an old release, tired of being sounded, song we'd like to be, called back as light. The loneliest host, free from them all, holds the highest throne. The debris of watchtower acquaintances finds shelter on and off the circuit, communing without nature. No one knew what to expect. Everyone knew what was coming. As if in air. What could otherwise be in a crude world, dreaming what was ugly, than nothing. You come back from rumoring, not without what we wanted to say, unfolding the mountain song, decoding the ocean. What lives inside the machine? There are wish lists dreamed up and ashed out, assumptions of the primary and of tenderness, if tenderness isn't too tender to use in a poem. Interest will return again, foreign matter added, finest pure, peculiar quality. Who is aware when the hand makes art anyway? How stubbornly we call, how stubbornly we conjure, how stubbornly it sets in. This book, I didn't realize until putting it together, it's called As Water Sound, but there's some interesting preoccupation with hearing loss in it that shows up here and there in things. I went deaf in 1 year when I was pregnant. I have a 2.5-year-old. And And I didn't realize it bothered me until I was putting the book together. And I was like, oh, there it is again, and there it is again. And it changes a lot, how you converse. And this isn't really dealing with that. This is a whole other topic. New Orleans as well, my home comes up everywhere, and sneaking into poems. As the future Atlantis that it may be. The village we couldn't enter. Regardless where I was somewhere else. So said nothing, stretched language so. There gave our blue, our grasp, our dreamlessness, reached in, picking up to map and remap the shiftings. Where our feet have gone, tongues tell tales. What was previous grows out in our hair. The perfection we quest, whir of mystics. What critics we are, checking boundaries, alternate worlds over the drawbridge, just past the roar of the train, where our feet have never gone, so said nothing, stretched language so. Necessary feedback, all recall. The device must accept any interference received. What does that mean? That was a quote that is imprinted on my child's toys, on many of them. It says, the device must accept any interference received. For I hang my voice so that my ear may repeat vibration after vibration, all strung together with the nerve of morning. Haven't we fixed the heavens long enough with soundless openings? Sometimes wayward, gray uncertainty. Press the red button when you hear a sound. Was that a sound? I'm stuck on a choke, a 6-time hush. Remember the way we quench, the way we unstrung, the way we ghost out? I cannot hear you, but your callings will not go unused. We are the thrashers of the undertow. Mistakes become identities. 3 miles out, matter of fact. And this poem is to my dear friend Willie Kulik. He had a show back in last April in New York, and he's a painter, and he was wrestling with what he thought of the work. And so here we are. Let us try to convey the meaning of ambiguity, eliminate the visually disruptive as if nothing matters and all else does not. Interrupted and interpreted conceptually. I have the tendency to talk about the things most people won't, and so here we are. Luminance, geometry, color, miscellaneous, setup. There are radionuclides in the water wheel. Can we replicate intensity, destruction as its own source material? The absurdity of death is what I admire most about you. This is not a narrative. Quit yawning. No one wants you to be comfortable, maybe salvaged, enriching, curiously basic, but not comfortable. It's the last place any artist wants to be. So settle down. The compulsion to return is only just revealing what's already the leverage within you. This is another manuscript that is a brain drain of a variety of things, from politics to health issues to a thing. I don't know, the thing. They're not necessarily, it's sort of all one poem maybe in 6 parts. And so I'm just going to read these. They don't have specific titles or anything. The scene changes. 4 finches bump each other for feed. Never mind that there are 4 holes. Spilling seed to the weathered pigeons below. Pigeons bump at each other for pieces overflow already cracked. Half-eaten waste. They are not so different from us, these here birds. How quiet is the tremble, damnable winds carrying ash and embers, watery-eyed. Where do the animals run? Upstream and down the mountain into a neighbor's backyard. Quick, call the professionals. Quick, may they bring a cage. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, 3 siblings light up another. That's for Noel Black. In and of itself, the room got heavy. Nothing anybody said in particular. Barometric pressure changed through an open window. Bird song. Call it out as 6 degrees of separation, but it isn't that distant. This is the troubling part. To survive, gets its own title, its own day of recognition. But I liked it better as anonymous. The 5th day of fall. Respond around with dismissed natural immunity, fearful of what could turn wild without breaks. We rely on the dead. Is this going to become a topic now that we're of the age? State of the game, gate of the same. If there is something. The code word has always been Nickelodeon. Our sentences have been hanging for a long time. Can I please just tell you this one thing? It was never about love as much as it was shame. I know you wanted me to know. Hand me something. The trees will shower white soon. Take us someplace. Fire hillsides and bones unearthed. Is this appropriate darkness for our breaths to be caught? The murmur is tiny. Our breathing is plain, groundbreaking, and unclaimed. Plurality, polarity. We go off, test, demonstrate missiles up and over yonder, so to say, don't you dare. Haven't we warped the molecules and consciousness enough all the same? Moon solid, thunderclap, accoutrements hounded, plundered. We will use the dictionary to brizz the ism. With our entire lives to carry on like this, Lumiere, monolithic, I'm coming down. It's going to take 15 minutes to get comfortable. The plaster comes down in water-stained poker chips. More in a position, more when the morning's white. This is not an emergency. The brain will adjust. What is dominant will remain so. Trust me. Take my lead. Featureless, spanless, fountainless, sightless. I will rush for the sun. The great hush is coming, with still the taste of metal in my mouth. Garlic. If a man dreams of eating garlic, it signifies he will discover hidden secrets and meet with some domestic problems. Yet to dream that one has garlic in the house, this is lucky. And he wonders, is this the best thing I've ever done, or the worst? They sell it as self-discovery. They call it as truth. And truth, we know, lives at the bottom of a well. This is a last poem. This is a tone poem. Surely somebody else, maybe everybody's gone through this at some moment. As the nurse on the other end of the phone makes light of my diagnosis, I say, you don't know me. I am a brunette. I am 5'5". I am vegetarian. I am a mom. I am BRCA positive. I have green eyes. I am nearsighted. I am goofy-footed. I am right-handed. I have broken only 1 bone. I have 8 cavities, 12 tattoos. I am an older sister. I went to Catholic school. I can't draw a steady line. I have vertigo. I have a cataract. I am deaf in 1 ear. I have a glass head. I have only 1 piercing left. I don't like mushrooms. I was a softball coach. I am a Sunday school teacher. I have nodules on my thyroid. I don't have a smartphone. I am a Leo. I am from River Ridge. I am a victim. I am a leader. I am a poet. I am tone deaf. I am married. I am a renter. I am a pedestrian. I have trichotillomania. I have gluten intolerance. I am a Christian. I have never been to Europe. I fluctuate around 130 pounds. I've never eaten steak. I like to climb trees. I am double jointed. I am a label reader. I am a control freak. I am 1/3 Sicilian. I like the rain. I am a fan of pavement. I am a nail biter. I am not yet 40. I'm a fan of Joseph Cornell. I am not photogenic. I am irked by mouth noises. I am sensitive to smell. I'm a pot smoker. I'm a pour painter. I'm a pretty good cook. I am anal retentive. I am a belly sleeper. I am knock-kneed. I was a yellow belt. I am an editor. I believe in ghosts. I don't like raw onions. I have a variety of scars. I don't chew chocolate. I used to smoke. I am a wine drinker. I am a bird watcher. I am uncomfortable with the ocean. I am bad at saying goodbye. I don't like soda water. I am frustrated with the government. I am brutally honest. I am working on it. I'm afraid to die. I'm not afraid to die.
Oh.